everyone, Cathy Zielske here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am sharing 5 tips and tricks for card makers. These tips can make your card making easier and maybe more fun. So stick around, that's coming up next. Tip number 1 is to use your SCOR-BUDDY to help you line things up. So this little tool is fantastic for adding score lines for our card bases, but you can also use it to adhere and line things up perfectly on those card bases. For example, you got a card panel. You press your base right into the corner of the SCOR-BUDDY, then you take your panel and repeat. Press it right into the top and the left, and just like that, you have a perfectly lined up card panel on a card base. This also works great for sentiment strips. Let's say you have your little strip, bring in a ruler and press it right over to the far left or the right, whatever side you're working on, and just like that, you've lined up a sentiment strip right flush with the side of the card panel. I use my SCOR-BUDDY for this all the time. It's a fantastic tip, and you could also do this with a Misti or other stamp positioner. Yay! Tip number 2 is for trimming out perfectly spaced sentiment strips from side to side. Once you have a little sentiment strip ready to go, here's what you're going to do. Now I'm using a Guillotine paper trimmer for this, but you're going to line up your strip and place that furthest most letter to the right with the edge of the trimmer guard here on this Guillotine trimmer and cut. You're going to flip it around, pop it back in on the other side and repeat. Line up the furthest most letter to the right side, get that paper guard lined up perfectly and cut. It's perfectly spaced from side to side every time. Tip number 3, use a cloth when stamping with a stamp positioner. Now I love my Misti. My Misti tool has made stamping possible for me, right? You pick up your stamps, you ink them up with your choice of ink, and when you go to press down, here's my tip. Use a soft cloth to apply pressure to transfer the image. I don't know about you, but I don't like my fingers sticking to the acrylic of the door, and so I use a little cloth. And the cloth that I use actually is a Swiffer cloth. So not only can I smoothly stamp, I can clean up with it as well. That's a win-win. Tip number 4. Tape your paper to the door of your stamp positioner for stamping with cling stamps. So you'll take the pad out of your Misti, place the cling stamp inside the stamp positioner, position your cardstock over the stamp, and then grab some low-tack tape like purple tape, put it on the back of the cardstock, and pick it up onto the Misti door. This is a really easy way to get a great impression. So instead of trying to stamp your cling into the cardstock, you're pressing the cardstock into the cling. Grab that soft cloth, press evenly all over the door, and when you lift up, you are going to have a fantastic impression from your red rubber cling. Just like that. And tip number 5, use a blender brush to clean your cling stamps. This is such a quick way to clean 6x6 cling stamps. Take a blender brush, dedicate one for this task, right? Just spray on a little stamp cleaner. I use Ultra Clean from Hero Arts, and then you go to town. I don't have a stamp cleaner that's large enough for these stamps, and that's how I figured out this little tip and trick. And when you are done, that red rubber cling is as clean as the day you bought it. And here's a last little tip as a bonus. Do you ever struggle with getting things lined up straight on your card bases? You're sitting there, you can't figure it out, it's not lining up. Now this might sound silly, but here's my pro tip. Just stand up. Stand up, give yourself that bird's eye view, and look directly down on top of your card project. I swear it makes it so much easier to get things lined up with ease. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope these tips have been helpful, and I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And here are a few other videos that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.